Hi guys, this is Steven with AffiliateMarketingDiary.com, and in this video we're going to start wrapping up things in regards to a trend blogging case study. This is actually the first part of a two-part series on setting up your blog to receive traffic, and also the second part of the video, or the second video, we'll talk about actually marketing your blog posts, etc. So in this first one here, we're going to talk about a couple of different tweaks that I made to the blog just to facilitate things, and also some on-page SEO, okay, on-page optimization of your blog posts. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. What we first want to do is, let me go ahead and use an example blog. Okay, you guys might remember this blog right here, which is the exercise blog that we created in a previous video. Now what we want to do is just go ahead and go into the edit layout function. You need to log in, obviously, to get to this area, and we want to concentrate on this blog header. Okay, so let's just go ahead and log into that as well, or just edit. Okay, and what you'll find here is, obviously, this is where we actually load up our header once you've created one. And by the way, you want to make sure that this is checked instead of title and description. Okay, so in other words, instead of this and this area down here, we just have an image with some text on it. Okay, so we don't want to disturb that. But anyway, the blog title is what we want to talk about. Now, why is this important? Because if you take a look at this right here, at the top of the tab and also at the top of the browser right here, it says My Exercise Blog, fitness and exercise advice. Obviously, My Exercise Blog is the name of my blog. Fitness and exercise advice is actually the name of my article or post. Okay, so what we want to try to do is get rid of My Exercise Blog. Now, the only way I know to do this without actually having to tweak the template big time, which I don't know how to do because I don't know how to really program, okay, is a simple cheat. And what we want to do is just get rid of this. So what we're going to do, let's just go ahead and delete this. And you'd think you can just save this, but it actually won't allow you to do that. It says it's a required field. So I tested this a few different ways, and nothing seemed to quite work until I just happened to push a period. And once I save the changes, boom, it actually took. Believe it or not, that's all I need to do. And if I refresh this, just pay attention to this area right here. If I refresh this page, you'll see that the period shows up. Not too fancy, but it works. Okay, and what will happen is, once I refresh this page, you'll find that the name of the blog actually disappears right here, and it just says Fitness and Exercise Advice, which is what we wanted to do, because what we're trying to do is actually rank for this term, Fitness and Exercise Advice. We're not trying to rank for My Exercise Blog. Okay, so that's some basic on-page SEO, or search engine optimization, for you, and it does help. Every little bit helps. So that's the first tweak that I made. Second one actually deals with the AdSense blocks, and we talked about displaying AdSense on our page. But what we actually kind of touched on this. You need to go to the settings area, to formatting, and what we want to do is make sure that we only show one post. And the reason for this is, if you actually show multiple posts, since we have actually forced this large rectangle at the top of our blog post, what will happen is, when you have more than two, or obviously three, it will show 3 ads. If we have 3 articles, it will show 3 ads on top of each one of these posts. Okay, now that's great, but if you add a fourth ad or 5th ad, now Blogger thankfully is smart enough to not display those ads. But what will happen is, once you display the 3rd ad, this area to the right will disappear, and it will just be one huge white block of nothing. Okay, and you don't want that, obviously, because you want people to see the ads and actually be enticed to click. So that's why I figured out that just putting one post, that will always keep the integrity of the blog And most of the people that come in to your blog through trend blogging, they usually only stay on your one page. So you need to capture as much of the clicks from that one page as possible, okay? So we want to make sure that we don't stack posts on top of each other. So okay, so now we've talked about the second tweak, and there's only two tweaks that I make, which is obviously the header and also this, how many posts that you're displaying right here. And make sure that you always click Save Settings, okay? Now let's talk about some on-page SEO very quickly. First off, obviously you want your keyword in the title, okay? Secondly, you also want your keyword early and often throughout your blog post. And in this instance, it has to do with Whopper Freakout, and you see right here, Whopper Freakout is the first line in my content. It's also bolded, and there's a reason I do this. Obviously, it has to do with emphasizing that particular phrase, okay? And I also generally italicize the Whopper Freakout, as you can see here, the secondary keyword. And let me illustrate that on a couple other posts as well. You see I have Barbara Walters top 10 most fascinating people of 2007 list. And what I ended up doing was I integrated several of these keyword phrases into the title, okay, because people are searching for J.K. Rowling wins Barbara Walters top 10. And then there was another keyword phrase, Barbara Walters top 10 most fascinating people. And then there was the top 10 most fascinating people of 2007 list. Okay, so I try to integrate all of them, and as you can see right here as well, I've bolded the primary keyword phrase, 10 most fascinating people of 2007. By the way, you do want to try to keep that towards the front of your blog post title as possible. And I again italicized most fascinating person of 2007, which was yet another word. Okay, that was actually my second keyword phrase, secondary keyword phrase. Let me illustrate one last time. Caroline Reeland one-ups Paris, Paris Hilton, that is. And as you can see here, I bolded her name. This is my secondary keyword phrase right here. I also italicized her name one last time down here. Don't know why I did that, but I did. And that's the on-page optimizations that I do. But you always want to make sure that you have your primary keyword right here in the title, and that you bold and italicize the primary and the secondary. And that definitely helps. I've actually tested it on some of these obscure listings, and it does help. Now, some of you might ask why I chose some of these titles, okay, or some of these posts, topics, excuse me. And it really has to do with luck. You know, I just happened to come across it. Anything that has to do with television and commercials that gets a buzz is always good to write about. People love lists, so that's also another great topic to write about, okay? If you see anything that has to do with a list, always write about it. And obviously this has to do with Paris Hilton. You know, some of these hot celebrities, they make news all the time, but the problem is it's hard to rank for some of these phrases. Obviously Paris Hilton is very tough to rank for. But this lady right here, Caroline, her name doesn't come up very often in the search engines, okay? So I end up ranking on the first page of Google, I think second or third at the time, and received quite a bit of traffic because I was one of the first ones that actually wrote Caroline Reeland in the blog title, and I emphasized it throughout my blog post, and received a lot of traffic and a lot of clicks on these ads, okay? So by the way, another tip is that you want to always write about not the celebrity themselves, but whoever they're seen with, okay? Whether it's a guy or a girl or their antagonist, you know, their enemy, if you will. Always makes news. People always search for that person, okay, the third party. So anyway, that's all I have to say about this particular topic. Look out for my next video, which will deal with how I actually got the traffic to my site. So I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Steven with Affiliate Marketing Diary. Thank you.